Hello, my name is Z, and I did my capstone with the Nature Project. So, my capstone began with a question. What if sports could go beyond the scoreboard and become a platform for healing, equity, and environmental responsibility? Through my internship with the Nature Project, I explored how nature-based engagement and storytelling can support athlete wellness, belonging, and leadership. As both a researcher and TNP's pro athlete mentor at in-person programs, I worked directly with teens experiencing the power of nature to spark reflection, community, and connection. This project is rooted in TNP's mission, using the outdoors to improve the physical, mental, and emotional health of young people, especially those historically excluded from nature spaces. This is my poster that I'm going to be walking you guys through today. It captures the full arc of my work from the questions that inspired it, the data that grounded it, and the tools and stories built along the way. By the end, you'll see how nature, sports, and storytelling can intersect to create healthier, more connected teams, and ultimately a new vision for athletic culture. Across every level of sport, athletes are reporting historic levels of burnout, anxiety, and emotional fatigue. Sports culture often prioritizes competition and productivity over recovery and well being. Meanwhile, research and TNP's own program results show that time in nature improves focus, emotional regulation, and stress recovery. Yet, these benefits rarely enter athletic environments in intentional and structured ways. When I look at sports, I see more than just the scores, but I see a generation of athletes asking what it means to win without losing themselves in the process. Mental health has become the quiet crisis on every field. Burnout spreading, anxiety tightening, connection thinning. Eco disparity reminds us that the outdoors, our oldest source of healing, is still not reached by so many, especially BIPOC youth. And yet, our eco leaders, the athletes themselves, are calling for change, urging sports to rise to the moment on mental health, equity, and climate. And so, Team Nature poses a bold question. What if nature could be part of the solution? My central argument is that nature engagement and reflective storytelling can transform sports culture by positioning success as a balance between performance, community connection, and care for the planet. My internship with the Nature Project involved three main components. First, data collection, which included a survey of 39 athletes, interviews with coaches, the athletes, and environmental educators, as well as observations that I've made during TNP outdoor programming. Second, analysis conducted through thematic coding around stress, recovery, belonging, and nature connection. And then lastly, application with the development of the Team Nature curriculum and digital storytelling tools, including the player cards. This work merges scholarly research with firsthand experience in outdoor youth programming. One of the key deliverables for this project was the Team Nature player cards, which are multimedia storytelling profiles that captures athletes' identities, leadership journeys, and relationships with nature. These cards quickly became a tool for belonging and representation, especially for athletes whose stories are often overlooked. They remind us that sports are more than just competition, but they can be a platform for connection, visibility, and meaningful change. My player cards are just one of the many tools I designed that shaped this project, and I want to walk you guys more into what we discovered, because behind every curriculum activity and every player card, there was something deeper happening. Real shifts in how athletes felt connected with themselves, their teammates, and the environments around them. So let's move into the results. My data revealed a clear reality. Athletes are carrying a heavy load. Nearly 80% of athletes surveyed reported regular stress, burnout, or anxiety tied to their sport, reflecting national trends in youth, collegiate, and professional athletics. But when we incorporated nature-based practices, everything shifted. My results find that during outdoor sessions, athletes described feeling calmer and more focused, having space to breathe, and really reconnecting to their why for playing. And the numbers back this up as well. In a post-outdoor activity survey, 80% of athletes felt more connected to teammates and 64% felt more at peace. It's also important to note that 87% of athletes reported time as their biggest barrier to nature access, and this shows that it's not about a lack of interest, but more so about a lack of design. Storytelling through outdoor reflections, interviews, and player cards helped athletes feel represented and rooted in their identities. When teams wove nature narrative into their culture, athletes truly began to redefine success from pressure toward presence, from burnout toward balance, from isolation toward belonging. And these stories can reframe environmentalism as personal, diverse, and culturally rooted. These findings then went on to inform the Team Nature curriculum, which is a 5-unit pilot program that integrates outdoor practice, reflection, environmental literacy, and leadership development. Designed as an adaptable framework, it offers coaches practical tools for embedding nature directly into existing training programs. As a pilot, this curriculum will continue to evolve. The next steps include implementation within local and high school teams, expansion into school districts, integration within TNP's core youth programming, and long-term scaling toward collegiate and professional sports environments. Now, I know that the vision seems ambitious, but it is grounded to shift sports culture toward healing, inclusion, and environmental connection. With all of this said, this project points to several powerful implications that extend far beyond just my internship. One, nature isn't just nice to have, it truly is a mental health intervention. At a time when athlete burnout and anxiety are at historic highs, this work shows that nature-based engagement is a direct, accessible tool for recovery, grounding, and emotional regulation. It offers teams a built-in antidote to the pressure-driven culture of sport. Two, environmental literacy strengthens more than just knowledge, but it strengthens people. When teams integrate nature into their culture, athletes build resilience, reflection, and authentic connection to the world around them. It fosters belonging, again, especially for athletes who have historically been left out of environmental narratives. Three, storytelling becomes a form of environmental justice. By elevating the voices of athletes from marginalized communities, this project reframes who gets to be seen as a leader in sustainability. And lastly, embedding nature into sports changes the entire definition of performance. It moves teams away from burnout and toward balance. It reframes winning not only as competing, but as healing, connecting, and stewarding the world that we play in. This positions sport as a powerful entry point for environmental and social transformation, a place where cultural change can take root and spread. I believe that if sports can shape culture, then they can also reshape what we value. Team Nature reminds us that performance isn't just about how hard we push, but how deeply we can connect to ourselves, to each other, and to the world that we play in. My hope is that this work I've been able to do with the Nature Project can continue to grow because when athletes thrive, communities thrive. When athletes reconnect to nature, they don't just perform better, but they come back to a better version of themselves. Team Nature may be a pilot today, but its vision is unapologetically bold, rewriting what sports can stand for. Because again, if sports can shape culture, then it can also heal it. And when winning is measured through balance, belonging, and stewardship, we don't just change athletics, but we change the world that athletes are leading us into. I would like to thank the Nature Project for their partnership, support, and trusting me to complete my capstone. Huge shout out to my incredible site supervisor, Jane Seibel, Dr. Lubna for her guidance, and a deep gratitude to the athletes, coaches, and community partners that helped bring my vision to life. Thank you.